Welcome back. It must be Monday morning. This is CBD with your favorite PhD. We're tackling a new question this week with our in-house expert, Dr. Kat. Dr. Kat, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good morning, Carmen. I'm always happy on Mondays.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
That's
always good
good.
to start the day fresh after a good day's rest, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And we're going to go right into the question. So, we get several questions. We get them from various sources, from the different presentations that we've done together, and then we're getting them now through social media. So today's question is the dosing question. Dr. Kat, I know because I've witnessed it. You get this question all the time. People are trying to understand because you say no prescription needed. But then there's the question of how much does a person take and for what reasons? And I'm just going to turn it over to you so that you can educate us all.
Thank you, Carmen. So I'm going to go a little fast, but at the same time, pace myself because, as usual, the 5 minutes, it could be 5 hours. So I want to hit the most important notes. And no prescription needed, CBD, no prescription needed, was a tagline because with cannabis, there used to be a prescription needed, and hemp CBD is considered an over the counter, but it is like most foods and supplements, a medicine. It can help us. And if we use it leisurely, just for relaxation, it's a little bit different than when we use it for symptoms. When you and I go on the road or when I do my presentations, and as you mentioned now with social media and one-on-one with my patients or the people that call me in, this is one of the next biggest questions that we deal with. I would say it's equal to the other question of how do I take it, the tincture, the pill. So I think we're going to tackle that one next week. But for the dosing purposes, we're going to go straight in. I want to make sure that everybody knows that we're going to do show and tell today.
Okay.
That we use hemp CBD,
Yes.
not cannabis. So cannabis is typically your marijuana from your cannabis sativa plant. It's the flower plant that is psychoactive and has THC. Cannabidiol, CBD oil, is what we're talking about today. And most people, they've heard about it. As you know, it's the buzz, and it's been the buzz now for several months, if not over a couple of years, and growing. But it doesn't make you high. It doesn't have that kind of buzz. So it is a safer alternative, non-toxic. I'm going to get into that because it's connected to the dosing. One of the things you'll notice that people tend to ask is what's the ratio of the CBD with the THC? And the thing that I want to share with everybody again, over and over again, is this is CBD, not THC. However, it is very important if people are toxic or sensitive to THC, because THC in very high amounts, if it's a high ratio and very low CBD, it can cause paranoia or anxiety in a lot of people. So CBD is always good to have on hand because it's actually the antidote to the paranoia or the anxiety that the THC brings about. A lot of people don't know that. So, if you're going to tinker in THC, carry a CBD with you. And we can talk about that dose on a whole different show. But today we're actually going to talk about how to get to what we call in the CBD world your sweet spot. So the sweet spot is how we dose. We always start very slow. The concept that more is better is not the case with CBD. It is very personal, and it depends on our ECS, our endocannabinoid system, which we are going to be talking about down the road. But it is the largest receptor in our body that is responsible for balance. For health and wellness balance. And so the CBD restores that. It feeds our endocannabinoid system. So some people, their body is like a glass full of water of endocannabinoids, depending on their genetics or their health, the medications they take, the stress, the lifestyle, the environment, those cannabinoids can go down, 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 down. So if you're depleted, you may need more.
right?
Oh,
And
age
age
for
as we
sure.
age.
Yes. Yes. With time, right?
Mhm.
Things wear down. And so some people, 3 milligrams may be fine. We've seen all the way up to 100, but how do you know? And that's what we do at the office as consultants is we help, but you start very slow. You start at night and you can add or subtract. We're going to go through the symptoms, but what I recommend is that you use a CBD that is third party tested. We use CBD that has no heavy metals. We know the potency, no pesticides, no bacteria, no E. coli, no yeast, no mold, no salmonella, no residual solvents. Those can be found in CBD products that you're trying to use for your health. And we need a third party tested and an organic. So I think when we talk about dosing, that's super important because you can
Sure.
go get whatever you want. And then you're buying something because it has a lower price point, right, Carmen?
Right.
We're not talking about a very extremely expensive CBD, but we're not talking about a CBD that's very low. The bottle should have all the ingredients in it, and it should be pure CBD so that you know how to dose it. And that's how we do it. Otherwise, if you keep switching CBD products or you try different things or you try too much, you won't know. So we also use a dropper that has the mills on it.
Mhm. Of
Or we
course.
use the capsules, and we'll talk about that, where it's very specific. Because everybody's different, you want to be able to journal or track. I got
I
my
was
little
just going to
book
say that.
here, and it says, what is your plan to do with your one wild and precious life? One wild, one precious life now. I mean, if your life is precious, why would you feed your body with something that's not healthy? Why would you take something that you don't know how to dose? Why would you take a prescription and take 4 when you're supposed to only take 1? Life is precious. And so, what I recommend is you track what you do, and you can have a tracking guide where you put in the date, the time, what you took, how much you took, and the symptoms. I keep a
Exactly.
little tracking journal like this. And Carmen, as you know, it's been over a year now that I've been writing a book that helps
Mhm.
with all of these. But because of COVID and telehealth, by the way, we do these consultations on telehealth across the
Yes.
whole United States and, of course, Eastern Europe and Mediterranean. I have a lot of clients that call and ask.
Sure.
We can do this by the phone. So telehealth is, I was going to do a little thing on telehealth, but we were going to run out of time. So what you want to do, I like to put the time before and then after to see how long it kicks in, because depending on what you're using, it can kick in within 5 minutes or how you take it,
Sure.
or it can take an hour. So for sleep, sometimes it can take an hour. You want to use a sleep hygiene, which is a routine that we teach that has a cognitive restructuring component to it. So start slow. Where are we? And some of the symptoms that we use it for, sorry, Carmen, I'm backwards here, are OCD, anxiety, and stress. And the reason I have these as different categories under anxiety is because there's different dosing for these. Different
Sure.
dose for sleep, different dose for insomnia sleep that takes longer, it's more treated, or sleep because we're restless leg. Pain, seizures, depression, and the
Yeah.
symptoms go on.
Right. Exactly.
So, what I recommend always, again, is to contact a specialist. We are specialists. As you know, I'm integrative medicine board certified in natural health and a licensed clinical social worker, psychotherapist. So, we have people who come in for these symptoms and
Right.
we monitor and we go slow. And that's where the tracking system is absolutely vital.
Yes.
And I also want to make sure that I let everybody know, as usual, that because physicians want to follow the FDA guidelines as they should, and they work with prescription medications that have research specifically by the pharmaceutical companies, they may not know about this or they might be a little bit hesitant. So we help educate the doctors, but they want to know and hear from you. So even though they may not be on board, they need to know. They're learning. They're learning
Sure.
from you, and I hear it all the time.
Exactly.
There's some very specific dosing issues that we're going to address when we actually talk about the different types, like the topical, the sprays, whether you should use inhalation, and if so, what kind. And so we're going to touch into dosing again by
Oh,
default, right?
exactly. For sure. As
Okay.
we break it down for each category, this is not just a one-time thing. The education is going to live here on these videos.
So if I haven't touched on anything, please say hi, give us comments, ask questions. We're here to help you. Call us any which way. Carmen, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. And Dr. Kat, before we leave and we jump off the broadcast, where can people call you and what's the website?
Oh, thank you. Inside Wellness Center, or inside4wellness.com. Inside Wellness Center is the name of the business. So inside4wellness.com. And the phone number is 925-216-3510. And we'll have it listed here as
Yes.
well, and all our contacts. And
Great.
don't hesitate to call, because we love what we do.
Yes. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Monday. We hope that the rest of your day is calm and peaceful. And we'll see you again next week on CBD with your favorite PhD. Thanks, everyone. Bye, Dr. Kat. Thank you.
Bye, Carmen. Thank you.